When it comes to your child's health,
You want care that's close, convenient,
and centered around the needs of your family.
At MMC Pediatrics, we're more than just doctors.
We're partners in your parenting journey.
here for every growth spurt,
for every boo-boo,
every fever, and every flu.
Our team approach means that your child always sees someone that knows them.
We are MMC Pediatrics.
We are right beside you.
Every step of the way.
We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at WGNSradio.com. This is the Roundtable, Tennessee Association of Broadcasters Award winner for Best Local Talk Show. A look at the news, views, politics, sports, and people shaping Rutherford County.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Tuesday morning edition of the Roundtable Show with Rick and Wayne. And good morning, Wayne. How are you, buddy?
Good morning, Brother Rick. I'm happy to be inside with the AC, to be honest.
Isn't that the truth?
It's wow. We went from what drought conditions. Now it rains every day, kind of like being in Florida.
It is. I went out of town for the weekend. I was up in Pigeon Forge. I had some cousins came in from Florida. Their son is playing travel ball, so they all the way from Tampa, Florida, to Pigeon Forge, the Cal Ripken Experience, which is an awesome field. It's an amazing facility up there if anybody's never not seen it. But we went up there this weekend, got to see them, but it rained a lot and fog. You can talk about that. It's beautiful, the fog, or it's actually clouds, but overtaking the mountain, and you'd see the top of it still sticking out of it.
I ought to get Brian to pull up the drought map, because
it's still bad.
Is it really? It just
they showed it this morning.
Okay, it just seems to me that, man, we've just gotten a ton of rain.
Well, I tell you, yesterday was weird because I left. We got up at 3 o'clock in the morning and drove home because I had to be at work yesterday, so I didn't get in trouble. And it was raining like cats and dogs, and I looked at the radar, and you know how things usually go west to east? Yesterday's rain was going east to west.
I saw that, yeah.
So it was,
Crazy Ivans, we call them.
Is that what you call it? It was chasing me all the way back.
And I mean, it was a torrential rain in Smyrna. I mean, it's literally cats and dogs, I guess you could say.
Exactly.
We're still moderate drought. Areas south into the county are, in a slight drought, but this was done last Thursday too. It's only done once a week.
Oh, okay.
So this coming Thursday we'll have a better idea.
Yeah.
So what does the gray mean?
The gray, this is not a drought area.
Okay.
So there's some area. I mean, it's definitely gotten a lot better across the state.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, changing the subject, football's not far away, so I'm pretty excited about that. The Blue Raider Blitz is coming to the Smyrna Town Center. Is it week after
31st, I believe.
Okay, 31st. So
yeah.
the Smyrna Rotary Club and the BRAA are co-hosting the
30th
Blue Raider Blitz on the 30th, though. So that'll be a lot of fun. Last year was Coach Mason and Coach McDivitt. I suspect that maybe our new ladies coach might be there, and maybe Coach Mason. So looking forward to that. That's a great time.
I saw Joey Aguilar Saturday night.
Really?
We went to Smokey's baseball game in Knoxville, and he was just there hanging out and sat down pretty close to us. And it was unfortunate because once the word got out, man, it was absolutely, the kids just, from the whole stadium, I felt like.
He played 1 year, and he's an icon.
He is.
I think I read somewhere we got some tattoo or something of Nealon or something like that.
He overnight became, $12 million or something like that.
Yeah,
he ended up
pretty
making
much
on that deal. So. And the other deals he had, not counting what they paid him. So
yeah. So seems to be a good kid, though. So
yeah, he was.
Brother Rick, this morning, this is going to be a lot of fun for both of us, but we have a great friend, a community leader. He and his family have served this county community for decades, and such a pleasure to have not only Mr. Chairman, but also Commissioner Robert Peay with us this morning. And Mr. Chairman, good morning, and thank you for being with us.
Well, good morning. I appreciate that introduction. Of course, I thank a lot of my family for sure, and we have done a lot over the years.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, people. There are a lot of people in our community that get involved. My family's worked with the ball fields, had at Kittrell and different events over the years. Football, that's another big one. Of course, we didn't have that at Kittrell, but
yes, sir.
My brother's was on the first state championship team out at Oakland, and then his son was on the next state championship team. So, but since then we've got a lot of those state championships going. So we got a good roll going anyway.
Of course, you and I were juniors when Central won that state championship, I believe.
Yeah.
I guess right. The season was 70, but that was an amazing team. I know we've talked about it before, but so many of the players off that state championship went to at that time Power 5 schools.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. But I've got several friends that played on that. Gary Kavaskis, for instance. I don't know if you remember Gary.
Linebacker.
Yeah.
I do.
But anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit today about commissioners and what they do. I've been invited to a lot of the different schools over the years, and I would go in and basically teach a class on what commissioners do. And first thing I found out is nobody knows what a commissioner is at that age.
Yes, sir.
And that was early in the morning, so I had trouble keeping some of them awake. But startling enough, not only did they not know what a commissioner was and did, but they didn't know who their representatives were for the state, much less that there was a difference between state representatives and our federal representatives. They might know who the president of the United States was, but they wouldn't know who the vice president. They wouldn't know anybody that was on any of the committees. So it's kind of sad that we really don't. We don't teach that in school anymore, I guess.
Right.
But
no.
I think that's something that we really need to do because, saying people will say something about, well, I don't really care about voting or politics, and that's kind of like saying you don't care about your class of life that you're living. You don't care about roads, you don't care about crime, you don't care about education. And those are all things that commissions do. And like I said, people don't realize that. But I thought I'd talk about a few of the things that we do. And since I said schools, we fund the schools. Of course, you've got a school board that's elected that does the zoning for the schools, where your child goes to school. They make the decisions on if we need to build another facility. And they, of course, pretty much everything related to schools. Of course, I'm talking to a school board member here sitting beside me, former. He very well knows, and he knows both sides of it. But what the commission's job is in that is to provide funding. Once we provide the funding, then the school board from there pretty much can do what they want to with the funds. Of course, if they are doing a lot of things we really didn't want them to do with it, there's a remedy to that too, and they're well aware of that. But the good thing about the commission and the school board is we've worked very well together in the last 20 years that I've been on the commission. It's actually been a pleasure working with them because they care. You got people like Don Odom to work with.
Yeah.
Just for instance, Don was actually my high school advisor. He had just got out of college when I was graduating, so it's not that much of an age difference.
I did not realize that.
Yeah,
okay.
But
I have that same situation with former Commissioner Jeff Jordan.
Oh yeah.
When I was a freshman at Thurman Francis, I think he was fresh out of middle. So okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it's interesting how things like that turn around.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, one of the bigger jobs we do is funded the schools. Now, people ask me what commissioners do, and I'll kind of jokingly say, well, we raise your taxes, or we set your tax dollars, and then we spend them any way we want to. Now, that's kind of a short way to put it. That's not a nice way to put it either.
No.
But the thing is it's basically true. We do set the tax rate, and we do determine how those monies are spent. Now, of course, I'm going to spend them on schools, roads, public safety, those kind of things, infrastructures that were needed. But anyway, that's basically what a commissioner's doing. We're kind of limited. It's not kind of limited. We're very limited on the funds that we can raise. Basically, property tax is really the largest place that we're able to get money. You know, we have a wheel tax, but that doesn't generate anything near the money that we're needing to operate our government. You know, people don't realize how big we are now. You know, our payroll in a month is like $30 million.
That's right.
So a lot of people will look at our finances and they'll say, well, why have you got this much surplus? Well, you know, there's a point in there where we're not having tax dollars come in, and then we've got to have enough money in there to pay our employees. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if you figure a 3-month window, which is about right, where we don't have funds coming in, that's $90 million that you need to have on hand just to be able to pay your bills. Mm-hmm. I mean, not just the bills, but, you know, that's people's salaries. Mm-hmm. But, you know, people, they'll look at our funds that we've got, and it's easy to take a snapshot. Okay, at this point we have this much X number reserved dollars, but what they don't know is, well, we had just received a bond where we're going to build a school. It's 6-8 months we're going to start having to pay that out. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden we've got a large influx of cash, and they happen to look at it at that moment, not knowing that money's already entailed and going toward a specific project. As a matter of fact, we cannot borrow money unless it's already slated to go to a certain project like that. If we go to bond market on a school, that money has to be spent for those schools, or it has to go back. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's a lot of people ask me, well, why do you do this or why do you do that with the way we handle our money? And to tell you the truth, it's mandated by the state. And people say, what? Well, county commissioners do not enact laws. That all comes from our state legislatures and the governor. And now we can get and request a local ordinance, and they'll usually word that saying, okay, any county that has X number of population, and you know they'll put a zone in there, say from 50,000 people to 750,000 people. This will affect those counties. Usually it's something like that, but it's basically a private act just for us. And a lot of different counties do that. The legislatures, as a rule, will try to do what the other legislators want for their counties because they want the same thing. That's basically the same thing we do at the commission level.
And any changes like that we propose, when we want to do changes, we have to have one of our local representatives from the Senate and the House of Reps then adopt that, take it, sponsor the bill, and get it passed through. And we've had things before that we've asked for, and they've took bills up there, and they've, you know, unfortunately didn't pass, so we couldn't go forward with what we were looking at wanting to do. And I mean, one off top of my mind was impact fees. You know, that Murfreesboro and Smyrna and Laverne can charge impact fees to help with fire and police and road infrastructure, but we as the county, because of the way our charter is written and the state has a mandate over us, we can't implement those same fees. And they've helped us in some other ways, but you know, everybody thinks growth ought to pay for itself, and that's the number one way to make growth help pay for itself is impact fees on that new growth that they bring in.
Well, and you're exactly right. It makes it more difficult for the counties that don't have that ability. There's a couple that have been grandfathered in before some of the new legislation basically capped the fees that we can charge. It is frustrating, but our legislators are helping us some. They've changed some things last year, I think, where we can actually get money from industrial sites where we weren't before. But anyway, that's helped us some. Kind of back on the line of what commissioners do. One of the main things I do is answer questions. You know, people will not know where to get something done or who to talk to, who to call. You know, telling them that. Now I don't know everything, but I do know a lot about a county government now after 28 years. But what I don't know, I know who to go to ask, and that's usually what I'll do. I'll ask. If I don't know, I'm going to tell you straight up I don't know, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. And that means a lot, too, people knowing that, you know, they got somebody they can ask and they care about. And not just that, I mean, I've helped people get jobs. That's a big deal, and being able to talk to them. But I know how I am. When I'm voting for somebody, I want to think that I can pick up the phone and talk to that person and call them. And I've always prided myself, and if you call me and you're trying to get in touch with me, I'm going to get back with you. And it may be a phone call, or you may see me knocking on your back door in the next few days. And I've had a lot of people surprised. Well, what are you doing here? Well, you called me. So, you know, I'll take it serious if you're asking me a question. One thing I'll mention, I mentioned this before, we have a county email system. And unfortunately, we're constantly being attacked by hackers trying to get into our systems. And so a lot of that email on the county site is quarantined. So if you've emailed me on that county site and you hadn't got an answer back, more than likely I've never gotten your message because it's been quarantined. Rick, I know, and Wayne, you both have run into that, but it's frustrating. It's frustrating for them too. It's not something they're doing on purpose. They're trying to protect us from.
And it's the truth. I mean, we at least once or twice a week we'll get some kind of phishing email trying to get somebody open it, and you know our system does a really good job. I feel like with flagging a lot of it and trying to keep it from happening. But I know at least once or twice a week I'll see an email that comes through, them trying to get in on us. Do you get a lot of, I've noticed, of course, when I was on the commission before, I was in the city limits of Smyrna, and I never really had to deal with it. Now I'm in the county, and and I got a lot of rural area like you do. I get a lot of codes issues. And, you know, not to say something about, you know, Commissioner Rather was in there for a long time, but there towards the end there wasn't a lot of activity with him. But, man, I've gotten inundated this time with code stuff. I feel like Tanya Bell and her staff over there who do an amazing job, we're hand in hand, because I seem like I'm getting 2 or 3 a week here lately of issues within the county. That department could actually probably be twice the size it is with, I think, the number of things they handle.
And, you know, one of the first things they're going to ask you when you get a call too is, did y'all come out here checking on me?
Yeah.
And I'm saying, look, we don't have enough people to be going out.
They don't ride around.
If somebody is calling complaining against you, you better look around, because you got a neighbor that's unhappy with you.
That's right.
You know, they don't. If you make a call in to codes, they're not going to be sharing that if you ask to keep that private, but they will go out and check. And that's how we, you know, if we find somebody in violation, 9 times out of 10, somebody has made a call.
That's right.
And people don't believe it. They'll find out later, well, Robert, you were right. It was so-and-so, you know.
And there was a misconception a lot of times. If you have a home-based business out of your home and you live in the county, you need a permit from the county to have it. Yeah. So if you're running a business out of your house, no matter what it is, you need to contact the county and make sure you're within codes restrictions. And I get everything from somebody cutting hair to had one that was parking a dozen dump trucks, you know, and it just bought a piece of land, bulldozed it, threw gravel down, and started parking trucks on it. And, you know, they always thought, well, we're in the county, we don't have to have any of that. And that's unfortunately not the truth. And they're finding out the hard way when they got to move it all back off again.
Yeah.
But it's a shame.
It is. Speaking of the county and being a rural commissioner versus one that's in one of the municipalities, of course, they have public works department. You know, if they got flooding issues out in our areas, you know, we got to see what we can do. And we've actually started an infancy public works is the way I kind of look at it. The road board superintendent, Greg Brooks, oversees them, and our county engineer. But we have set some money aside to actually work on problems, like drainage, flooding. Of course, they prioritize that for life safety first, and then property safety. But that's something I'm really proud. Joe Frank Jernigan and I and Steve Sandlin and all of the rural commissioners back then worked real hard to get that started. So that's something I'm proud of. Being a rural commissioner now, I know you can appreciate it.
I've had the same tree come down twice now on Florence Road, unfortunately, with all the storms we've had. And it's a big one. It's a big 100-year-old tree, but it had 3 forks, and 2 of the forks are now on the ground. So, with everything going on. But, hey, you're listening to County Commissioner of the 4th District, Robert Peay, chairman of our budget committee, and he's our awesome guest today. But we're going to take our first break and be right back with you in just a minute.
When it comes to your child's health,
You want care that's close, convenient,
and centered around the needs of your family.
At MMC Pediatrics, we're more than just doctors.
We're partners in your parenting journey.
here for every growth spurt,
for every boo-boo.
every fever, and every flu.
Our team approach means that your child always sees someone that knows them.
We are MMC Pediatrics.
We are right beside you.
Every step of the way.
First Shot transforms Rutherford County youth. Coach Andy Herzer leads dynamic basketball camps and clinics, building skills and character since 2003. Kids dive into exciting STEM projects, sparking creativity through hands-on coding, art, and dance. They elevate their mind, spirit, and body in summer and winter programs. Visit FirstShotTN.org today to learn more. First Shot, where kids gain, elevate, and develop.
Insurance should be simple, not complicated. That's why at Rayburn Insurance, Agent Rick Hull cuts through the jargon and helps you understand your options clearly. He's committed to finding the right coverage that fits your unique needs and budget. Their team has been a trusted partner in the community since 1973. Ready to make insurance easy? Get with Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency. He's ready to help you get the protection you deserve.
This is Good Neighbor Events with Bart Walker. Brought to you by the law offices of John Day and AmeriCare Pest Control.
This is a paid legal ad.
When a family member is lost as a result of someone else's negligence, the grief can be unbearable. It also leaves you with a lot of questions like, how did this happen? Who's responsible? And is my family going to be okay? That's a lot to go through, but with the law offices of John Day on your side, you don't have to go through any of it alone. We understand what you're going through, and we have the experience to get the answers, justice, and compensation your family deserves. Call the law offices of John Day.
Now, Good Neighbor Events. Here's Bart Walker.
The Red Cross is still critically low on blood. Give the gift of life. Phone 800 Red Cross and make an appointment to give blood at a time that fits your schedule. There's a photo exhibit at the Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce Visitors Bureau. It's open Monday through Fridays from 8 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon and features the works of local photographer Jane Powell. America 250 exhibit, Hallowed Ground, Reflections on Stones River National Battlefield. It's free to see the photo exhibit and it's open to the public. That's at the Chamber of Commerce, regular hours Monday through Friday, and that's at 3050 Medical Center Parkway. Don't forget the Farmers Market over at the Lane Agri Park. That's every Tuesday and Friday morning from 7 until noon. You actually buy from local area farmers and you get to know them. The local farmers market's at 315 John R. Rice Boulevard, next to Paws and just down from Sam's. That's Tuesday and Friday mornings from 7 until noon. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
Rutherford weather.
Cloudy today with a chance for storms. High of 86. Slight chance of thunderstorms with fog tonight, 70. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on News Radio WGNS. Currently, it's 75 degrees.
WGNS is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. If you've recently changed your phone number or email, make sure you update your details at mte.com. It's the best way for MTE to reach you quickly with important outage updates.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
And welcome back to the second segment of Tuesday Mornings with Rick and Wayne. And we're certainly enjoying having Budget Chairman and Commissioner Robert Peay with us this morning. And we're kind of doing a little bit of a civics lessons as we go, and as you were describing some of the duties of a commissioner and the commission, I was thinking back to my 9th grade at Thurman Francis with Mr. Scudder talking about civics, but I don't recall, and if he's listening this morning, I apologize. I don't recall him bringing up the county commission when I was in his class, so he probably should have dwelled on that a little bit, I would think.
Well, I agree, and I wasn't never that good at math, but I've gotten really good at math since we've had our reassessments come through this year, because I've filled a lot of questions about that.
I bet. And, you and I both.
I mean, I literally would sat there and would. All right, what's your assessed tax rate? And I would show them the formula and then do their formula for them. And now I think majority of them went up, but it was like under $100 went up. And I had a couple that actually their taxes went down a little bit. And there's a lot I've had about the freezing of taxes for seniors that, of course, I think it's 67,000 some odd dollars, 67.2 or something like that. Ted would have to correct me on that, but
now, is that single or couple?
Single. So you've got a threshold there that if you make above that amount per year, you can't get yours frozen. But okay. It's a reasonable amount, and the state sets that. We don't get to set that rate. The state sets the rate, and we just follow. Ted follows what that number is.
Okay.
But you can get your taxes froze if you're limited on your income and you meet the standard of that. We can get you set up with a program with Ted Beatty that would freeze those taxes for you.
That's something that I'm really proud of. That I worked on that. And,
yeah.
A lot of us did. I can't take credit of that alone by a long shot. But I had people from Bristol and Memphis calling saying, "Hey, how did y'all do that?" Evidently, we were one of the first counties, if not the first, to do that.
Okay.
And they were cheering us on. Please do this. And of course, it wasn't us. It was our state legislators that stepped in and got that done for us. Of course, we were asking for it year after year, and we've asked for increases, and they're doing that too. It started off, I think it wasn't much more than $30,000 a year, and now, like you said, it's $67,000, I think, somewhere in that area. But that's something I'm really proud of as far as accomplishments of what our commission's been able to do. There's so many things, and I wanted to talk about that, and some of this would be rehashed, that the commission, I've seen change over the years. For instance, there used to be a lot of the areas, at least in the rural part of the county, that did not have water. They were on water wells. Yeah. A lot of those wells were going dry. A lot of them had sulfur. I had sulfur in my house and carried bottled water for, I don't know, probably 10, 15 years, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Sure.
I became a commissioner, and the next year I had water. How about that? But it wasn't because I had I thought that, I'd have ran for the commission a whole lot sooner. but that wasn't the case. I know the legislators at that time got with USDA and got some grants to actually put water and give money to CUD to extend water into rural areas more. So there were a lot of those areas that I know people didn't have water and were carrying water. So that's something I'm really proud that we were able to get that accomplished. There's so many things like that people don't know. And for instance, we didn't used to require fire hydrants.
That's right.
In subdivisions. And can you imagine that?
No, not now.
You can't. And I was on the planning commission my first year as commissioner, and first one we went to, and where's the fire hydrant? Because I'm a volunteer firefighter. I'm going out door to door, knocking on doors, asking for money to put hydrants in. And so I knew where they were all at. We tested them all, but when these subdivisions would come in, they weren't putting hydrants in. Why? Mm-hmm. Well, they said, well, we don't have to. Well, one thing I'm very proud of, I pushed and pushed and pushed, and finally the rest of the planning commissioners, decided that was a good idea.
He's not going to hush. We might have given him what he wants.
Well, I remember they came in with one of the plots, and it was signed off by CUD, and I looked at it, and I said, should you be signing off on this when there's no hydrants in this subdivision? And the answer I got back quick was, well, we can do what we want to do. And that was a mistake on that gentleman's part, because he aggravated the rest of the commissioners there, and that's the day that it changed. So we enacted a change, which had to go through the commission too, but it did.
Yeah.
So that's how we ended up getting fire hydrants in all the rural developments. Like I said, it's to me.
About what year was that?
It was in 99. 98's when I came on, so it would have been 98, 99, somewhere right in there. Wasn't long after I had started.
Yeah, because I can remember in Smyrna us not having a lot of subdivisions. This was in the early 90s when I was on the fire department. I was a police officer, and they trained us to be fire guys too. And we'd have to do this training on Monday nights once a month. And one of the first things we learned about is having that tanker truck show up, and we had this miniature swimming pool like device that you had to pull out, square up.
Drop tank.
We're shoveling water, and I said, "What are we ever going to use this?" They said, "Well, we have these subdivisions don't have any water in them. We're going to have to shuttle water."
Yeah.
And we would practice that and
wow.
get it down to science, but we'd have to. And then I found out about mutual aid, because Amable would have issues or with big fires, and we would send a truck, because the county at that time would buy everybody a fire truck.
Yeah.
And if they called for mutual aid, you had to send that truck. And so that was the agreement that was made. So if they had mutual aid or needed something, then we could send a truck and have that. We got a water truck from a 3-speed GMC truck from the town that they no longer used anymore, and that became our first 2,000 gallon with a big chute on the back of it. But it was slower in Christmas, and it was scared you going around curves, but it carried 2,000, and we could empty that thing pretty quickly.
One of the things I'm proud of that we, during my term, of course, I was just one of 21, but the community, I forget what we call out in the county that stations the fire and ambulance services and stuff like that.
Oh, you're talking about our public,
right?
Public health and safety buildings.
Yeah. Public health and safety. I had a senior moment there, but I'm proud that we were able to get that done, and I, certainly was just one of 21 that supported that. But I thought that was a neat initiative, and to serve especially our rural neighbors.
Yeah, and I agree wholeheartedly. That came about by the ARPA funds, American Recovery Act, and we slated those funds for public safety. A lot of our money, of course, goes to education, the majority of it. But that's something, since I was commissioner, I'd been trying to get ambulance service out in the rural areas. All the ambulances, if you're out in Readable, you get a good 10-minute drive on, just to go out there and then back. So that's 20 minutes. You're kind of missing, that 6 to 8 minute golden minutes, I think they call it, that you need when you're in a dire need. So I'm really proud that we were able to get, especially the ambulance services out at Kittrell, out at Las Casas, Walter Hill, You know, those are everywhere they're so sorely needed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were able to get one or two, you know, a year or two before that. We had one out in Joe Frank's area, Christiana area for a while before we got them in other places. But that's really been a godsend, and people really appreciate that. You know, they see we care about their safety. You know, if there's a tornado, they can take shelter there, among other things. Of course, it's fire, ambulance, and there's an office for our police officers that can come in and catch up on their paperwork, also duties there. Plus, it's an office for our health departments. You know, if we ever had another problem like we did with the pandemics, we were able to set up health centers at those. Well, right now there are 5 of them, but they're sometime or other I think there'll be 6.
That's right. Yep. What about I lost my train of thought there. I was listening to that and had another thought, and the one I originally wanted to go back to.
Your brother.
Talk a little bit about I guess the way advancement of the fire departments come, because I know if you figure you volunteer for a while, you were in it like I was, and then I see what the guys have today and what they do today versus what we have. And I was on the commission, of course, when Chief Farley, we started a first full-time fire department within Rutherford County to help start that program. But it's come a long way in your tenure of being on the commission, has it not?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, that's part of the reason that I wanted to become a commissioner, is to help our rural firefighting. I was over 15 years as a volunteer, and I served as assistant chief out at Kittrell for most of that time. But I saw the need. Our people out in the rural areas, the reason Kittrell started one is we had a house burned down right beside the school there where the public safety building is now, and you know the people that were responding were coming from Barfield area, I think at the time, or the other side of Murfreesboro, and you know the response time is just way too big, and that's why we started the volunteer service. But too, as volunteers, you know, most of your people are working at night, so you don't have a lot of manpower during the day. I worked night most of the time, so I ended up serving a lot during the daytime. But I saw a need for us to have full-time fire service, and I fought very hard to get that, and there was a lot of resistance to that.
There was.
The thing is, even as volunteers, we were able to get our class rating down to a 5, and it's still 5 in most areas there. But that's a very big accomplishment. You've got to have communications, you've got to have equipment, you've got to have training. It goes on and on and on. You have to have the water. That's ended up saving our people by getting that class rating about $500 a year. And of course, you're an insurance man, so you know the difference it can make, how close you are to a hydrant or a station. You know, the rates change. And having stations out there that can respond quickly and makes a big difference. And I mean, I had a lot of people call me and say, you know, they easily were saving $500 a year on their homeowners insurance because we had that rating. So that's something I'm proud of, and I'm proud of the fact that I helped get a full-time fire department going here. It's really hurt me when our volunteer fire department over at Kittrell was shut down.
Yeah,
I think that was a mistake on the county's part, and not because they were shutting that down, but because they're doing away with the volunteer system. You know, we don't have enough firefighters, and we don't have enough fire stations for this large county that we've got. We need more volunteers, and we need more full-time both. And that was my point, is, you know, you're basically cutting your arm off when you're doing away with those volunteers. Now, maybe they can't answer every call that's out there, but they can answer a lot of them. So I think we made a mistake there. And two, it's been a good pool for the full-time fire departments like Murfreesboro City, Smyrna, Laverne, and now our own county department. They were able to get guys that had been basically already trained, already certified firefighters, and they're right here. From the volunteer forces. I mean, I know scores of people that are full-time firefighters now with Murfreesboro City and other agencies that came out of our volunteer services. So, again, we're hurting ourselves by cutting that off. That's like taking your right arm and throwing it away. So,
don't need
anyway,
it.
I don't need to dwell on that. But besides saving money, and I will say that one of those stations, we got 5 of them. Just the manpower alone to man that one station is $1.1 million. That's their pay for just the firefighters, not the other guys, not the ambulance and all.
Right.
We were paying our volunteers. I think we're paying them $80,000 for a year.
That's right.
This year. So, do that math, and you can see why I kind of favor keeping our volunteers around too.
And the expenses, I mean, the expenses of running a fire department today is just astronomical. I mean, we got to have ladder testing every year where it's recertified, and you have to pay to have that done. The pumps have to be retested, and anybody owns a vehicle these days that has a computer on it. Now all these fire trucks do. If one of those things go down, the amount of money it costs, and they got mobile guys that come out, but if it's anything of a length of time, we end up having to take that truck out of service, and it has to head to Nashville or somewhere to have that system looked at and work done. So then we have to have those backups in place. So it's not from the fire side. It's just as bad as the police, but from the fire side, man, it's not a cheap thing anymore.
No, it's not.
Not at all. But we listened to Robert Peay. He's the county commissioner of District 4, and you're running for re-election. I want to bring that up, but we'll talk about it now while we can. But you are up for re-election and got an opponent. But we got the 17th, I believe, starts early voting. So we're right here on the cusp of early voting, and August 6th is a general election for our county. And it's not in line with the state offices. We're on our own election cycle, if you want to say. But
right.
I just want everybody to keep that in mind.
I want to add that it was certainly an honor and a pleasure for me to get to serve with Chairman Peay during my time on the commission. So enjoyed you being there and knowing your leadership abilities when I was sitting in that chair.
Man, I enjoy having you sit beside me in District 3 to 4.
There you go.
Comfortable. But hey, we're going to take our second break. Be right back with you in just a minute.
When it comes to your child's health,
you want care that's close, convenient,
and centered around the needs of your family.
At MMC Pediatrics, we're more than just doctors.
We're partners in your parenting journey.
Here for every growth spurt,
for every boo-boo,
every fever, and every flu.
Our team approach means that your child always sees someone that knows them.
We are MMC Pediatrics.
We are right beside you
every step of the way.
I'll be right there.
It takes all of us to power a community, both in plain sight and behind the scenes. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
What's the location of your emergency? I think my kid OD'd.
Hi, I'm Craig Harris. I'm County Commissioner of Rutherford County. One of the reasons I ran for office is because I wanted to bring awareness to the opioid epidemic that's impacting our county. To stop providing this epidemic with people as we educate. We have a lot to do, and we have to come together as a community because this problem is not going away.
This is Austin Maxwell, and I'm asking for your vote for Murfreesboro City Council. As your councilman, I serve to serve you. Over the last 4 years, we've invested $140 million in roads, reduced crime 3 years straight, retained police and fire personnel, and taken action to hold the landfill owners accountable for our local environment. But our work isn't done. Early voting is July 17th through August 1st, and Election Day is August 6th.
Paid for by Austin Maxwell from Murfreesboro City Council. Austin Maxwell, Treasurer.
It's auction time. It's auction time this Saturday, July 18th. Preview 8 a.m. with auctioneer Steve Sandlin, starting the live auction at 10 at 1554 Bear Branch Cove, Murfreesboro. In a highly sought-after neighborhood, this all-brick masterpiece features 4 bedrooms, 3 full and 2 half baths, 3 separate garage spaces, stamped and stained concrete, hardwood and tile floors, 14 and 20-foot ceilings, a pool with waterfall slide, and so much extra. See more at ReliantAuctioneers.com. Firm 5860, license 5942.
Craig Buckner with Mills Family Pharmacy.
Many medications for our animals have to be compounded, and we offer that here at Mills Family Pharmacy.
Mills Family Pharmacy offers a wide range of compounding.
Special for you, your loved ones, or for your pets.
Learn more at millsfamilypharmacy.com.
Thank you for allowing us to be your local pharmacy. We're at 2994 South Church Street, next to Toots.
Mills Family Pharmacy, dedicated to providing customers with services to meet their needs.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
Welcome back to the third and final segment, excuse me, Tuesday Mornings with Rick and Wayne, and we've enjoyed having District 4 Commissioner and also Chairman of Budget, Mr. Robert Peay. And Commissioner, thank you for being with us. I guess we were going to maybe in this short last segment, maybe talk a little bit about possibly a new jail at some time in the future, which I guess dollar signs just pop up all over the place when you talk about something like that.
Well, they certainly do. And not low dollar signs either. We have at our last budget committee, we discussed a proposal that has come through public safety and public works, property management, and it came to budget. We actually went into executive session for a while, and I found out some pretty interesting things that I wasn't aware of what was going on about the particular property and proposal. But basically the county is looking at, and this will go before the full commission Thursday, at 2 different proposals. One is to renovate the existing jail and properties, add to that. The other is to build onto a site adjacent to the Correctional Work Center over off 231, and those are the 2 options that are out there. There was not a consensus on the budget committee. Basically, we had a 3-3 tie, so it was forwarded to the full commission from my committee to go to the full commission to make that decision. As far as cost goes, the estimates on the newer building, I think, was around $364 million, somewhere in that area.
1,200 bed.
Yeah,
wow.
For 1,200 bed, and that's not counting acquisition of land. That brings on a whole lot more talk too, and I'm not going to get into that.
No,
but it's something that sooner or later we're going to have to address. I know one of the things I worked hard on doing was to get these people that are first-time offenders, non-violent, so that they didn't have to pay bail and go to jail. And that reduced our jail population by quite a bit. And that's a lot of money. It was saving us probably in $10 to $30 million a year, and that's an avoidance. That's not on money that we'd make from not having them there. It's money we would have had to pay to keep those people housed. It's around, $75 a day is what we're getting reimbursed now per inmate, somewhere in that neighborhood from the state.
46.
I'm just thinking it's a little bit higher now.
No, we
still
get
46
some program
now.
Points and up to like $49 a day. But I talked to Steve, chief deputy over there, just the other day, because that's one of my big hanging points. We were keeping so many daggum state prisoners. We're averaging 200 a day. and just on our numbers. So
what's the actual cost to house a inmate per day?
$83. So it costs us about $6 million a year just to house our state prisoners who should be in state custody in a state facility. But if you count our programs that we offer our inmates that they have access to, we're not only housing them for them, we're doing these other preventative, recidivism programs that we're allowing our state prisoners to go into. And I'm not saying that they don't deserve it. I'm just saying I wish the state would help pay us for that amount of money. But there was something online recently, and I said, how much we could do with building, public safety salaries and fire trucks and police cars and buildings and everything if we had that $6 million to put back in. But we're having to use tax dollars to do the state prisoners when they should help us, the state. But several months ago, we had a committee meeting with the state, the people that inspect our jails and things, and we talked about that rate. And I asked the guy that was over it, I said, is there a county in the state of Tennessee out of 95 counties that can house a state prisoner per day for that per diem that's given? He said, no, so there's not. So the county or the state knows they're getting a good deal out of it. So
on the backs of our citizens.
On the backs of ours. Yeah. But he's right. I mean, I don't know, Robert, have you ever known anything that we've ever funded that's going to cost this amount of money?
Boy, not right offhand. Even our largest schools are not touching that.
I know it.
We
this is basically 2.5 schools. We're funding 2.5 schools to build this facility, depending on which direction we go.
Yeah, even with the 4 additions that we've done on Riverdale, Smyrna, Laverne, and Oakland, that was only about $200 million. Yep. But that kind of gets us back into finances again, and how we figure out where this money's coming from and how we handle it. And one thing that I'm really proud of is us getting that AAA bond rating.
That's right.
I've mentioned that in the past, but out of 3,143 counties in the United States, there's only 53, and we're one of those that has the 3 AAA bond ratings.
Wow. Okay.
And what that means is, for instance, if we went out and borrowed $100 million for 20 years, and 20 years is usually the terms that we get, the difference between a AA plus, which is what we were before we became AAA, is potentially in a 20-year period, we would save $2 million. So if you're looking at $4 million, approximately for jail,
400, yeah.
Yeah, 400 million, and then we're also needing a new high school, which is probably going to be another 150 million.
That's right.
So that's only 550 million, which happens to be really close to the total debt we have right now.
Yeah. So we'll be $1 billion in debt potentially.
Well, yes, that is true, but those debts, a lot of that's falling off.
Yeah, it will.
If we did not incur any more debt, 20 years we'd be debt free. So we're able to pay this, or we wouldn't be where we're at financially. But
yeah.
Well, I want to thank you and Rick as well. You both are doing amazing jobs and a really difficult job, and God bless you for your service to this county community and your family as well, because y'all it's been amazing over the years. So thank you, sir.
Well, I want to remind everybody to come out and vote. Starts this Friday, early voting, and goes to the 1st, and then August 6th is Election Day, and I would certainly appreciate your vote and support. Thank you.
And I want to second that. And you can go to any location. So if you live in Kittrell and you work in Laverne, you can go to the Laverne center down there and vote there. If you're coming through Smyrna, if you want to stop behind City Hall and vote there, you can do any system. If you're up on the square and you want to vote up here, you can go to any center and vote, and they will accept you. Yep. Well,
the annex is a hidden gem, by the way.
It is a hidden gem.
I mean, if you want to go and vote and be out in like 2 minutes, go to the annex.